Hey, it's Keith from Everytime I Die. Enoch Magazine, me and Nate, chilling.
Tell me a little bit about
real leopards?
No, well, no, I've just got leopard. They're not real, but
okay.
It's synthetic. I mean, if you want to touch it and pretend it's real.
Feels real.
Yeah.
Last time I pet a leopard, it felt pretty much the same.
Me too. It could be real.
Yeah.
Growing up, tell me a little bit about what Warped Tour was like for you. Every person grew up going to the Warped Tour.
Yeah. One time when I was little, I took acid at the Warped Tour and it fucking freaked me out. So I didn't do that again. I didn't go back to the Warped Tour for a few years. But so that's what I did.
that's so. Prior to this, that's kind of your experience with Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Are you looking to make a new experience this time around?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the fence now. Now we're playing it. It's a totally different thing.
What's something on this tour that's been unexpected?
Kids liking our band. It's we haven't played the main stage really ever. We got bumped up a few days in 2006, but to play it every day and to have a good response every day is amazing.
What do you think? A lot of punk rock kids today are into the homeless scene and they choose to go homeless. And homelessness is a big problem in America. What do you think about that as you're traveling around and you see different homeless people?
Yeah, it was really, I mean, obviously in every city there's a certain demographic of homeless people, but I never really realized the magnitude of it until we went in 2006 after Katrina hit and saw some of the houses that were destroyed and the people that were just living on the streets. I don't know what to say. It's tragic. I don't know why anybody would volunteer to do that.
Do you think it's a travesty that punk rock kids think it's cool to live on the streets?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool. I mean, there's a difference. For some reason, if you were living in the woods, it would be awesome. But when you're living on the streets, it's just stupid. Punk rock kids need to go to the woods. I'll put it that way.
Punk rock kids need to spend a little time.
Go to the woods. Be like, get to the woods. Get off the streets, jerks.
There's a lot of, churches and Christian bands that really work out with the homeless, and a lot of these new Christian bands claim Jesus. Mm-hmm. What's your perception of Jesus?
I mean, I'm sure he was a person that existed. I don't believe in God or anything, so
I'm just curious finding out different bands. Like, how did you come to that? I mean,
because of a priest called my mom a terrible word when we were growing up, and we kind of separated from the church when I was really young. So I really don't believe in instituted religion at all.
Stuff like that happens a lot. I think where the church pushes people away while they're trying to help. I know growing up, I'm a Christian, but I got pushed away from the church because I was a punk rock kid. They told me, you can't listen to these bands, you can't dye your hair, you shouldn't look like this. And I said, well, I don't really understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. But they can molest little kids. I mean, that's cool.
Tell me a little bit about the writing process for your band. What does that look like?
It looks like a mess. It's a bunch of people that don't talk to each other for about 3 months and then get together in a basement and then pump out a CD. It's really like, I'm not even there when they write. They just kind of finish it and record it and then send it to me via computer, and then I put the lyrics down and then go to practice and fill in the spaces.
Where do you get inspiration or motivation for a lot of your lyrics? Is it nature?
Yeah, nature. Yeah, the woods. Living on the streets, I don't know, movies and books, I guess. Honestly, I think touring is the biggest thing. There'll always be something to write about when you're on tour.
You have time to sit down and think about it and write it?
Yeah, it's kind of like
sit and eat and you're like, oh, let me jot this idea down.
Yeah, pretty much. You just collect notes as you go, and a notepad on a phone or whatever, a little flip pad, just take notes down the whole while.
Do you have a tape recorder you ever whip out and you're like...
No, I used to have a tape recorder, and then it's so pretentious. Yeah, it's so pretentious. I had one just because when me and my friends were younger in high school, and we would take road trips to Virginia or whatever. It was fun just to record whatever was going on in the car. But then I was like, oh, this is really... I don't want to go back and listen to myself saying it. I'd rather just read it.
That's how I feel in these interviews sometimes. Tell me a little bit about your high school experience. I mean, you talked a little bit about Warped Tour being crazy earlier. What was the whole high school experience like for you?
I loved it. I mean, I wasn't I moved out of it. I just saw a bunch of kids recently that still haven't gotten out of high school. It was great. It was a great time, and I definitely had the right kind of friends that kind of kept me out of trouble for the most part. But I'm from a well-to-do family from the suburbs. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect.
So it's Nate.
Yeah.
I am too. What kind of aspirations or things are you looking forward in the future Every time.
You know, I don't know. I guess, you know, if we can keep doing stuff like this, you know, 10 years later, still be on Warped Tour, you know, playing in front of kids that we still haven't played in front of. That's really all you can ask for. I mean, I set a bunch of goals, and you know, I met them. First thing was, you know, I couldn't wait to like record a video, and then we did that. And I was like, I couldn't wait to like be on a bus, and then we ride a bus. So I don't know. Right now, it's like I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do, and just want to keep making sure I can keep doing it.
Do you want to be 50 and still rocking out like Bad Religion?
Maybe. Better. You know what? If it was a band like that, then for sure. You know, but I don't see this aggression being a part of me when I'm 50 years old.
I know growing up, I was always kind of shocking my parents and doing stuff. You said you grew up in the suburbs, you know, normal family. What's that like? What do your parents think of, you know, being in a band? And
they didn't like it at first, but then they realized that you could actually make a go of it. You know, my dad, I grew up with my dad played. He was a big guitar player, so you know, he's very supportive of it now. He realized that it can actually work. You know, back then he wouldn't let me drop out of school for it, so I finished college, and then we started touring, and Jordan was in college and started picking up a little bit, so he got to drop out. And my dad was like, okay, you're actually going for it. So I was lucky enough to finish, which is good.
What, you said you finished college. What's your college degree in?
British literature.
British?
Yeah.
Tell me, if you weren't doing the band full time, what would you use your degree to do? Or what
I want to go back
doing?
and teach college for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Be
Definitely.
a teacher?
Yep. English teacher for sure. Or a stand-up comedian. I
You could teach English at the college and do stand-up at some of the open mics.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. That's all I really got.
Good.
Let's do. You want to do it
for the next 30 years? We'll come back and do a profile.
Yeah.
Be up there, the guy, and be like, "Hey, how about these airlines?"
Yeah.